Let me read a few verses from the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." And then you jump down to verses 26 and 27, and God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all." My thing just slipped. "And over all of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Created he him. Male and female created he them. I have entitled our discourse here today as the circle of life. The circle of life. The process, this is a quotation from a woman called Carolyn Lee from her book, Switch on Your Brain. She said, "The process of thinking and choosing is the most powerful thing in the universe after God. And it is a phenomenal gift from God to be treasured and used properly." In the quantum world, in the scientific world, there is that which now quantum scientists now believe. Something that the Bible has always talked about. When you look at the quantum field, and the quantum field is like a wave of light. It's a light wave. And when you look at it, you don't want to observe the properties of the quantum field. You look into the microscope, what you see is totally different from what I will see. When you look into the microscope, the quantum wave behave in a way that is consistent with your thinking. So when you look there, what you see is totally different and match your thinking at the time you are observing it. When I go and take a look to see what you saw, I will not see what you saw. I will see something totally different from what you saw, because my thought is totally different from your thought. I'm going somewhere with this. In other words, the Bible here said, "In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth." You know, this brought everything home to me. Before God created man, he decided to create everything else, and there was a reason. And I believe that for the past 6,000 years, God has been trying to explain this to us, but we have not got it. And I believe that once we get this, it is totally different. Because God created everything. And everything that God created, the heaven and the earth, in the entire cosmos, God created the entire cosmos. And the materials that God used, that God brought to bear to make the universe, it's the same material he used to make the earth. And then the Bible said, after God had done everything, he said, "Let us make man," Pastor Goff, "in our own image, after our own likeness." And so what God did was, he never took any different material from what he already had produced. The molecules, the atoms, the subatomic particles, and everything else, the elements, everything that God had created, he went back to those same materials to create man. And so when God created man, hear me, what God did was, he concentrated all of his creative power, everything that he had already created, he merged everything into one lump of clay.